Hi and welcome back to episode 6 of Backpacking for Beginners, where today I'm going to talk to you all about getting travel insurance. Important disclaimer, I am not an insurance expert and I am not a travel insurance expert. I'm only giving you advice that I have found to be useful for me and that I know has helped other people. Okay, let's begin. You do need it. It is important. Please, I'm begging you, get travel insurance if you're going backpacking or on any trip, especially a long trip abroad. In Australia, yes, you get Medicare, which I will do a separate video on, but it doesn't cover everything. The best thing you can do is shop around. Now, some of the companies that I looked at were big ones like World Nomads that so many backpackers go with, but I found them to be extremely expensive. That was for me personally. For you, it may be different. Another company I looked at was Down Under Insurance, which seemed okay, but again, wasn't quite right for me. The company I ended up going with was a company called Holiday Safe, and it took me ages to find them. Don't necessarily go for the cheapest one you can find. Really compare and contrast. The reason it took me so long was because of my vast medical history, which was a little bit of an issue in getting insurance. So if you've got a past medical history, you need to really be careful and find out if everything is covered or anything that may arise due to that condition. What is covered? The basics that you want to look at are payouts and excess. Excess is most easily explained as the amount of money you will have to put forward before they pay you anything back. If I trip over and bash my knee and need medical assistance, the excess could be £100. That is the amount I will have to pay before they pay out anything towards my medical bills. Look at the excess and the total amount payable, because one policy may only be slightly cheaper than another, but yet your payout will be far greater, and the one that you want that mostly on is medical costs. Check if you have to ring the company before seeking medical assistance. Obviously, this isn't always possible. If you're in a big accident and you're unconscious, how are you going to ring them? You're not. But the moment that you are able to ring them, you need to check if where you are is going to be covered by them. If not, you may need to be moved to a public hospital if you have been put in a private hospital. One of the really important things that you want as well is that your company has a helpline that is 24/7. Repatriation or repatriation, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, and that essentially means being returned to your country of origin. Hopefully that's alive, not dead, but if you were unwell or there was a problem, you need to check that your travel insurance would cover it. And in the absolute worst circumstances, which I hope never happen to any of you, ever, where you come home in a body bag, you need to check that repatriation is covered, because your poor family do not really need the cost of getting you home as well as everything else. And I'm sure that's never going to happen, but just think about it. Okay. Other things you need to look at is lost baggage, delayed flights, if you're covered for mugging and robbery. If you're going on a working holiday, make sure that your work is covered, that you are covered for working in that specific environment. If any gadgets or technology is covered, this is a tricky one. Generally, the gadgets and technology payout is fairly small and you're only allowed to insure a certain amount of stuff. So with that, you either have to get it as an add-on or get a separate company to cover any travel tech if you're a digital nomad or you have an expensive camera or laptop or whatever that you're deciding to take with you. You might want to think about whether it covers trips home. Now, I had a really unfortunate circumstance when I was in Australia that my mum was really poorly and I decided I had to come home for that. My company that I used, Holiday Safe, covered me for 2 trips home if necessary for up to 21 days. The insurance cover stops as soon as you're through customs in your home airport and starts again once you've passed through and you're leaving. For backpackers and travellers, a really important thing to have with travel insurance is the ability to extend as you're away. If you get a policy that has that option, that will be fantastic. Try to get one that makes it really easy to do, that you can just literally ring them up and extend for as long as you need. As well as extending on the road, you will want to see if you can add on activities. Things like skydiving, scuba diving below a certain depth, trekking, anything extreme sports or that they class as dangerous may not be included in your initial policy, but you may be able to add it on as you go. Just be aware as well that some travel insurance policies do not cover you for things like riding motorbikes. You may need a separate insurance for that, and that is so important, especially in countries where accidents do happen because driving conditions are so different. So check always if you need separate insurance for driving a motor vehicle. If with any of this you are unsure and you're looking online, my biggest advice, and what I did personally due to all the medical side of things, was ring the company. Speak to a person on the phone and get your questions answered. If they've confirmed something that you were worried about being covered for, get them to email you confirmation that you will be covered. Have a look to see whether the policy has a cooling off period. Sometimes they have like a 14-day period where you can cancel at any point. A cooling off period allows you to read through all that jargon, which I recommend you do, so that you know exactly what to do and any little pitfalls that they can use to not give you your money if you need to claim. My advice is to look at reviews of the company that you are thinking of going for, because if we're honest, no one really knows how good an insurance company is until it's time to make a claim. And these reviews will be by people that have been through the claims process, and that they will tell you how easy it is, whether they got their money, how fast they got their money, and whether they would recommend it. So check it out before confirming 100% that that is the company you want to go with. Once you have the policy all sorted, you will get a nice little booklet from them. I suggest trying to photocopy that, or certainly the most important parts, the helpline number, any little bits that you have to do, just the important information that could be the difference between you getting your money and not. Make a photocopy that you're going to take with you. Keep the original document in a safe place. If possible, give it to a family member or a friend that you trust with your life, really, so they have a copy as well. And write down the helpline number, put it somewhere that you've always got it, your purse, stick it on a post-it inside your passport, wherever you know you've got it to hand in case of an emergency. That is it for travel insurance today. I hope you found this helpful. If you're interested in the companies that I mentioned, the links are down below for those three. Holiday Safe I can only recommend. I never claim, so I can't fully say how good they are, but they've given me 20% off for my next trip, which thank you, Holiday Safe. Please, if you have the chance, go check out my blog, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the links down below. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and make sure you come back next week for episode 7, where we will be talking about booking accommodation, and I will run you through the very basics of that as well. Have a great week. See you next time. Big love. Bye. I got given 2 boarding passes. So the first one was this one, and then they put it in a nice little transfer envelope for me for the next one.